us today, so I want to give them space to explain what is behind these persistent power problems, as well as update us on what steps they have taken to address these problems. You all know that I'm a champion for the cooperative sector, and that includes our electric cooperatives who play a huge role in our rural electrification. So truly, I'd like truly to ask Nordeco what the problem seems to be. But obviously, what is important at the end of the day is what the people deserve in terms of electricity and power service. But if an electric cooperative, as I mentioned just now, is underperforming, then we cannot simply ignore it because this affects hundreds of thousands of homes and livelihood and holds our communities back from growth and development. This is why I also want to give give space rather to those who are in support of the expansion of Davao Light franchise area. Tell us why this is now the most desirable option instead of first calling for Nordeco to improve its services. And what is the assurance of Nordeco that it's going to deliver better services to these cities and municipalities? We will also have to discuss the President's veto of this bill before. We cannot and will not push for this bill any further unless we can find a way to resolve the issues that the President had in the previous bill. Hindi ko na po papahabain ito dahil alam ko marami pong gustong magsalita, magtanong. And so I just want to thank everyone once again for joining us today. And I'd like to thank, of course, the political leaders of Davao, headed by our Davao del Norte Governor, Gov. Edwin, maayong buntag sa ato mga mayor, mga board member, mga vice mayor, na niya karon. Good morning sa inyo tanan. Nalipay kog dako na niya mo. Of course, I think my kumpadre, Samal Mayor Uy is with us also. And of course, to all the public officials that are here from the other agencies of government. So let's start the ball rolling with, of course, let's have the presentation of Nordeco. I believe you are ready to present. Who's the... Yes, can you introduce yourself once? Sorry, I can't read that far. Your name is really small. And can I have na lang the list, David?
I am Attorney Daniel C. Campoamor, Your Honor.
Yes.
A member consumer owner of the electric cooperative, but at the same time, one of the legal counsels. I'm
Thank
ready
you.
with
Please proceed. Please proceed.
Your Honor, good morning. And to all the resource persons, good morning. As stated by the chairman of the subcommittee, the proposed measure carving out 53% of Nordeco's franchises is not at all new before the Senate. As earlier stated, upon the assumption of the office of office of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., his veto power over several proposed legislation was first exercised in House Bill number 10554, the bill expanding the franchise coverage of Davao Light and Power Company to the franchises of Nordeco that will expire in 2028 for Nordeco's franchise in the entire provinces of Davao del Norte and Davao de Oro, and 2033 for Nordeco's franchise for the Island Garden of Samal, based on the following grounds. The proposed bill suffers legal and constitutional challenges due to apparent overlap and possible infringement into the subsisting franchises, permits, contracts previously granted to Nordeco. It violates Section 27 of Republic Act 9136, or the Energy Power Industry Reform Act of 2001, or EPIRA, mandating that all existing franchises of electric cooperatives like Nordeco be allowed to their full term. Third, the resulting repeal of Nordeco's franchises violates the non-impairment clause provided in Section 10, Article 3, the Bill of Rights of the 1987 Constitution, which provides no law shall be passed impairing obligations of contracts. The bill on its face is a prohibited collateral attack on the franchises of Nordeco in Samal and the mainland. This is contrary to the jurisprudentially settled doctrine that the franchise cannot be subjected to a collateral attack. Again, this measure is in fact a rehash of House Bill 10554, which was passed and approved by the 18th Congress, but was vetoed by President Marcos in July 2022. With all due respect, a reading of the present measure will show that it failed and continuously fails to hurdle the above-mentioned bar set by the President. For instance, violation of Section 10, Article 3, the Bill of Rights of the 1987 Constitution, which provides, no law impairing, abridging the obligations of contracts shall be passed. Section 21 of the proposed measure, which provides that there will be a competitive selection process to be conducted by the supposed grantee on the prevailing power suppliers, presupposes that existing power supply agreements entered into by Nordeco and the power suppliers will ultimately be abrogated with the passage of this proposed measure. Thus, the violation of the non-impairment clause subsists to the prejudice of the power suppliers, the cooperative, and the consumers. Computed by Nordeco, the pre-termination fee over which Nordeco will be obliged and will be compelled to pay will amount to 17 billion pesos. Moreover, the power of eminent domain found in Section 21 of the proposed measure to be delegated by the state in favor of Davao Light and Power Company presents an anomalous situation. It is worthy to mention, Mr. Chair, that substantial amount of government funds was donated by the national and local government in favor of Nordeco as the implementing arm of the government's total electrification program. Expropriation, therefore, of Nordeco's assets by DLPC will amount to an expropriation by private entity to the assets of government. Nordeco, with a renewed enthusiasm and vigor, is here today to impress upon the Senate and the Honorable Subcommittee that the circumstances upon which House Bill 10554 was passed and approved in the 18th Congress are not obtaining today. Nordeco is pleased to inform the Senate and the Honorable Subcommittee that Nordeco has emerged from an ailing cooperative to category AA, one of the most competitive electric cooperatives in the country, pursuant to the 2023 National Electrification Administration Annual Assessment of the Electric Cooperatives. The trajectory, therefore, for Nordeco is to regain its former glory as AAA electric cooperative. Thus, the allegations of Governor Hubahib and the rest of the public officials of Davao del Norte are water under the bridge. In fact, Governor Hubahib filed a case before the ERC, which was dismissed for failure to present evidence on his allegation. The allegations of Ampere, the allegations of Mr. Conde, and the rest of Samal are all water the bridge, under the bridge. The ERC can attest to the fact, and NEA can attest to the fact that Nordeco is compliant with all the parameters set by the regulatory agency, including ERC, that Nordeco is compliant with the mandate of government. It is the humble submission of Nordeco that the proposed law expanding the franchise area of DLPC to include 53% of the former franchises area, covering the cities Tagum, Island Garden City, and the municipalities of Asuncion, Capalong, Nucurilla, San Isidro, Talaingod in the province of Davao del Norte, and the municipality of Maco in the province of Davao de Oro is inconsistent with the constitutional yardstick of common good and violative of relevant prevailing law affecting the government's total rural electrification program by 2028. Nordeco is cognizant of the fact that pursuant to Article 12, Section 11 of the 1987 Constitution, Philippine Congress has the exclusive authority to grant, amend, alter, or repeal franchises when the common good so requires. Nordeco humbly submits that common good, the constitutional yardstick on the grant of franchises in favor of double flight over existing franchises of Nordeco is not obtaining in the circumstances at hand. It is the humble submission of Nordeco that the rate in the areas left in its franchise should the instant measure be approved, namely municipalities of Laak, Mawab, Mabini, Pantukan, Nabunturan, Montevista, Compostela, Moncayo, New Bataan, and Maragusan the rate will surely soar to an estimated rate of 10 peso per kilowatt hour. The generation rate from 10.4409 per kilowatt hour from 6.7136 per kilowatt hour in the generation rate affecting 125,113 member consumer owners, an increase of 3.7273 per kilowatt. As of 2024, Nordeco's contracted capacity is 140 megawatts, with actual power peak demand is 124. This shows that there is enough power in the distribution utility Nordeco. When the 6 municipalities and 2 cities from the franchise areas of Nordeco will be carved out, the power demand will drastically drop by 67%, leaving 41 megawatts from its original actual demand. Hence, the remaining power demand will indeed affect the power rate of Nordeco, since it cannot utilize the contracted power supply and continuously pay for the capacity recovery fee or the fixed charges due to the power suppliers until the end of the existing power supply agreements or PSAs on top of the statutory pass-on rates. This is in relation to the power supply agreements that will be abrogated as the law proposes a competitive selection process. Thus, it will be an added burden to the member consumer owners since the fees are pass-on rates. The rate simulation on the generation charge of the remaining municipalities are as follows. With the whole area of the franchise areas of Nordeco, the generation rate is 6.7, covering 265,646 consumer members. With the remaining carved out in the province of Davao de Oro, as shown in the screen, the generation rate per kilowatt hour will be 10.4409, affecting 125,113 member consumer owners. On the areas that will be covered with the proposed expanded franchise of DLPC, the former respectfully submits that the prevailing power rate in that existing franchise area of the latter will not be applicable to the proposed expanded areas on the apparent grounds and factors as follows. Consumer density, nature of consumers, mostly residential, kilometer of lines, distribution, supply, and metering, line expansion and improvement, revenue requirement where private distribution utilities are allowed 10% return on rate base. which factors are affecting power rate in the franchise area? On the screen, we'll show that the comparison between Nordeco and Davao Light. The consumer density for Nordeco per kilometer of distribution line, only 29 consumers are connecting. Whereas in DLPC, for every kilometer of line, in the average of 112. Distribution, supply, and metering charges represent the cost of daily operations of the electric cooperative, operations and maintenance expenses, customer expense, general and administrative expenses. For electric cooperative being a non-profit entity, the significant items in the power rate structure is in setting the power rate is simply the generation and transmission charges to the exclusion of the return on investment or margin of profit. Consumer density or number of households served per kilometer of distribution line considered, there exists, as shown in the screen, a wide disparity between DLPC and Nordeco. DLPC, which is operating in densely populated urban area in Metro Davao, has about 112 households per kilometer of line, while Nordeco has only about 29 households per kilometer of line. It is worth it to mention further that unlike DLPC, Nordeco's distribution lines traverse highly vegetative forested areas if only to bring electricity as mandated by the government in the hinterlands that are found within its franchise area without regard to return on investment and margin of profit. Moreover, another factor that could influence the rate increase in Davao Light is the cost of restoration and repair of lines and facilities in times of calamities which are recoverable from consumers by DLPC. The same recovery formula or item in the power rate is not applicable to consumers of Nordeco as it is guaranteed by government of a subsidy pursuant to Republic Act 11039, otherwise known as the Electric Cooperative Emergency Resiliency Fund Act. To date, the electrification level of Nordeco is at 75.47 of 363,993 households. Nordeco was granted government subsidies through situ electrification program after the November 14, 2019. Despite its aggressive implementation to the national government's rural electrification program, there are still 89,279 unenergized households in the coverage area of Nordeco, most of which are in the far-flung areas. In the event that the 6 municipalities and 2 cities will be taken over by DLPC, the latter, with due respect, in all probability, will not venture to energize these far-flung areas belonging to the municipalities and cities which have no viable and definite return of investments, an allowable recoverable item in the unbundled rates of private distribution utilities. Notably, there are still 581 unenergized situs in those areas that will be carved out. Those unenergized areas will be deprived of the government's mandate towards total rural electrification program upon the passage of this measure, on account of the constitutional prescription that appropriation for private purpose is not allowed. It's further declared in Section 32 in relation to Section 32A, Presidential Decree 269 as amended by Section 12 and 13 respectively of Republic Act number 10531 withholding government subsidies or incentives to such as but not limited to SEP, to distribution utilities registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission, as in the case of DLPC. The table on the screen will show the unviable areas and to be energized through the cooperative on the mandate of government as the implementing arm of the Rural Electrification Program. Hence, Nordeco, the government's electrification program for the remaining 581 sitios in those areas applied for by DLPC will be hampered. The grant of franchise to DLPC over the franchise areas of Nordeco is inconsistent with the declared national policy of the state enshrined in Section 2, Republic Act number 10531, otherwise known as the National Electrification Administration Decree, which expressly provides: promote sustainable development in the rural areas through rural electrification. Empower and enable electric cooperative to cope with the changes brought about by the restructuring of the electric power industry pursuant to Republic Act 9136, otherwise known as the Electric Power Industry Reform Act of 2001. Implementing the above declared national policy of the government, Section 27 of Republic Act 9136, otherwise known as the Energy Power Industry Reform Act, the exclusive authority of Congress of the Philippines to grant franchises to persons engaged in the distribution of electricity is limited by the provision which provides all existing franchises shall be allowed to their full term. It is worthy to note, Your Honor, that the franchise of Nordeco in Samal will expire in 2033, while in the other area, the mainland, will expire in 2028. Furthermore, in no uncertain terms, Presidential Decree 269, authored by the father of our president, particular Section 2, expressly provides that because of their non-profit nature, cooperative character, and the heavy financial burden that they must sustain to become effectively established and operationally viable, electric cooperatives, particularly, shall be given every tenable support and assistance by the national government, its instrumentalities and agencies, to the fullest extent of which they are capable. It is worthy to note that Nordeco, formerly the NECO, is an electric cooperative that was granted franchise by virtue of certificates number 017 for the mainland and 103 for Island Garden City of Samal, issued by the National Electrification Administration for a period of 50 years from 1978 and 1983 respectively. Apparently, the franchises of Nordeco in the city of Tagum, the municipalities of Asuncion, Capalong, Ñucurillas, San Isidro, Talaingod, in the province of Davao del Norte, and the municipality of Maco in Davao de Oro, so to be included in the franchise area of DLPC, contained in the instant proposed measure, is subsisting and set to expire in 2028 and 2033 respectively. Apparent in the proposed measure is the fact that it simply expand the franchise of DLPC without the amending for the purpose the existing franchises of Nordeco pursuant to the NEA certificates. This brings to the fore Section 41 of RA 6038, which expressly provides that no franchise for service shall be granted to any other person within any area or portion of for which a cooperative holds a franchise. Notably, the above provision of Republic Act 6038 used the word shall, which means mandatory in character. Your Honor, it is the humble submission of Nordeco that the foregoing provisions of law further limits, with all due respect, the franchising authority of Congress over electric cooperatives in the country, including Nordeco. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you very much, Attorney. Although I disagree with you with your last statement because Congress who enacts laws can actually, unless it's the Constitution, has the authority to be able to amend these laws. I'd like to make the opening statement by saying, first of all, I'd like to recognize Senator Robin Hood Padilla, who's with us today. Maraming salamat, Senator Robin.
Yes, sir.
Always you're with us and supporting our different advocacies. Una sa lahat, no, franchise is not a right but a privilege. It's not a right but a privilege given by Congress. I know this because I was the chairman of the Committee on Franchises for 2 terms in the House of Representatives. So 6 years ako namuno bilang franchise committee chair ng Kongreso. So under my watch, I saw many franchises being approved, some franchise being rejected. Of course, everything depends on the service, no, of this particular franchise to the people and to the sector that it represents. Importante dyan, yung kooperatiba ay nagseserbisyo bang maayos sa komunidad? Kasi even if you're a electric cooperative and recognized electric cooperative, and we know many electric cooperatives in the country do not perform well. I know this because I'm also a businessman and I have businesses in several provinces that are being serviced by electric cooperatives na alam naman natin na napakamahal. Case in point, I have an ice business, industrial ice business, and I put this on my salen. So we have an ice business in Iloilo. And when More Power took over Iloilo City, nasa labas po kami ng Iloilo City. Nandun lang, nasa boundary lang po kami. Yung difference ng price ay 2 piso at 50 centimos, 2 pesos and 50 centavos. And that 2 pesos 50 centavos per kilowatt hour means so much in terms of profitability of a business. And ano na kami, wala pa kami 500 meters away from the franchise of More Power, which is selling power at a lower rate. Siyempre, umaalma lahat ng mga industries na nandito sa kabila. So, pag tinanong po natin, marami po mga excuse na ibinibigay yung electric cooperative na bakit mas mahal sila as compared to More Power. And I recall that one time when before More Power took over PECO in Iloilo, that was a private, of course, it was a private electric company. Ang dami pong pumunta dito sa aming tanggapan. Ako po yung majority floor leader noon. From the mayors to the councilors to the stakeholders, yung business sector nila doon, pati yung mga consumer groups, dahil napakamahal ng rate ng PECO at that time. And I clearly recall the owner of PECO, I don't know if Dave can remember, my head of my legis, pumasok siya sa kwarto at sabi niya, "You cannot give up our franchise. Our franchise has been with us for 100 years. Sabi ko, it's not a right, it's a privilege given by Congress depending on the performance that you have been giving to your consumers. And we all know the rest is history. And now po, pinalitan po ang PECO ng More Power. And the services has been generally good by More Power, I have to say. Kaya naiinggit po kami dahil wala po kami dun sa service area po nila. Now, with that said, I know there's an expiration of your franchise. Your expiration, you mentioned it earlier, Attorney, no? 2033 for Samal Island and 2028 for the mainland.
Yes,
So
Your Honor.
kailangan din po ninyo talagang bumalik sa Kongreso, di ba?
Yes.
Parang nangyayari dito, napabilis yung proseso dahil meron ng aplikante. I always say, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, di ba? So let us now recognize the consumers. Since binanggit niyo po si Governor kanina, I will give, as alam mo naman, in a fair forum, we always give of due recognition to those who were for or against this particular measure. So no better person to recognize than the father of the province who wants the expansion. And of course, later we'll also recognize yung mga mayors, vice mayors, iba't ibang LGU officials. Nandyan din yung Samal Island. Alam ko kasi maraming problema, nagkabarilan pa dyan, nagkapatayan pa kayo dyan. Diyos ko po. Yung Nordeco, we would always talk about that sa Bukidnon na nangyayari dun sa ating among silingan ba sa Davao area. So we'd now like to recognize Governor Edwin, Governor of the province of Davao del Norte, to give his statement, Your Honor.
Magandang umaga po, Your Honor, sa ating very workaholic, dynamic Senator, Honorable Juan Miguel Zubiri, and to Senator Robin Padilla. Nandito po kami ngayon kasama ang mga elected official, mayors and vice mayors of Davao del Norte, kasama ang business sector ng Davao del Norte, para po sa laban namin dito sa long overdue problem ng electricity sa Davao del Norte. During my first term, Your Honor, I sat down to former General Manager Suto, Danico pa before. Ang tanong ko sa kanya, bakit hindi nila kaya pantayan ang serbisyo ng Davao Light and Power Company, which serve to the District 2 of Davao del Norte. Kasi sa DLPC, mababa ang singil ng per kilowatt rate at ang charges nila mababa at ang ganda ng kanilang serbisyo at nagbibigay pa sila ng community support program, tumutulong pa sa gobyerno. Ang compare dito sa cooperative na very expensive ang kanilang per kilowatt rate at hindi nila kaya isupply ang tamang kuryente na demand sa consumer, lalong-lalo na sa mga business sector, at pabigla-bigla lang ang brownout at saka mag-fluctuate ang kuryente. Ang daming damage ng mga appliances na nangyari sa consumer at sa part ng negosyante. So, ang sagot niya sa akin, the time, that was 2019, sabi niya, rural electrification po tayo at yung mga equipment namin ay kailangan na namin i-upgrade at ang laki ng utang namin sa mga supplier ng kuryente. So sabi ko sa kanya, bigyan ko kayo ng within 1 year to upgrade your equipment at kailangan natin na pantayan ang services ng private company. Kasi yung private company, hindi nag-subsidize ang gobyerno. Dito sa cooperative, ang national at local government units ay nagbibigay po tayo ng pondo sa kanila for sitio electrification. Ganito po ang nangyari. Ang comparison po namin, Davao Light and Power Company is serving in District 2 of Davao del Norte, and the cooperative is serving to the first district of Davao del Norte, including Island Garden City of Samal and District 2. And yung mga kliyente ng District 1 for cooperative, pag nagpakabit ng kuryente, ang cooperative humihingi ng power bill deposit. Ang cooperative, wala silang panggastos para sa mga posti at sa mga line wire para sa connection. Pag ang consumer ay negosyante, nagdemand ng malaking ng kuryente, hindi nila kaya ma-supply. Kaya ang mga negosyante ay wala sa District 1, nandoon sa District 2. So, ang nangyari ngayon, sa rate naman, masyadong mahal ang cooperative compare sa Davao Light and Power Company. So, malaki ang comparison po namin, Your Honor. Ngayon, ito pong fight namin dahil hindi na kaya ng mga negosyante sa District 1 at consumer ang services ng cooperative. Dati Danico, ngayon Nordico. Parang binago lang ang pangalan pero ang serbisyo walang pagbabago. So hindi na namin sa aming constituents hindi na po kaya na hintayin pa ang kanilang franchise na matapos. So, ang dami na pong rally na nangyari dito. In fact, nasuspended pa ako dito sa laban na to. At Your Honor, itong kuryente talagang consider namin na malaking disaster ito sa ekonomiya ng Davao del Norte, especially to the District 1 and Island Garden City of Samal. Ang purpose po natin dito is for the good of the people of Davao del Norte. Pag hindi na ang mga negosyante, pag hindi na magnegosyo sa District 1 at sa Island Garden City of Samal, malaking epekto po ito sa ekonomiya natin sa probinsya. Tayo po ay nangangailangan ng investor para magkaroon ng employment sa probinsya at lalago ang ekonomiya. So, dahil po dito sa kooperatiba, ito po ang naging malaking hadlang ngayon ng aming ekonomiya na ang bagal ng pag-unlad at sakripisyo po sa part ng mga consumer. At ang tanong ko po sa cooperative, Your Honor, for this council, yung submarine cable na matagal na nilang pinapromise sa Island Garden City of Samal, last year pa, during sa hearing sa Congress, sabi doon sa contractor na within 3 months, maikabit na namin ang submarine cable. Ngayon, wala talagang submarine cable na nangyayari sa Island Garden City of Samal. Puro promise ang ginagawa ng cooperative. Tanong ko pa sa kanila, saan ang pera ng power bill deposit? Ilang milyon yan? Bakit ngayon hindi nila maipresent kung saan na yung mga power bill deposit ng consumer at mga negosyante na nagtayo ng mga negosyo? Hindi nila naibalik yan, no refund. Yung government subsidy for rural electrification, hanggang ngayon, walang refund yan. At ang cooperative ay wala namang ginawang dividend sa mga consumer as cooperative. At ang cooperative ay non-tax. Pero bakit sila malaki ang utang? Ang daming privilege ng cooperative pero hindi nila natugunan yung magandang serbisyo sa taong bayan ng Davao del Norte. So ito po ang laban namin, Your Honor. Bakit ang private company kaya niyang maibigay ang tamang serbisyo at murang singil ng kuryente, ang cooperative, ang daming suporta galing sa gobyerno at ngayon ay nasasangkot pa sa malaking utang, which ang kanilang utang, ang nagbabayad dito ay ang mga consumer, kasama na yung mga interest. So hindi na po namin mapapayagan, Your Honor, na patagalin pa ito. Baka mangyayari pa ito tulad sa isang kasabihan, paano yung damo kung patay na yung kalabaw? So ito po ang laban namin na kailangan na namin na magkaroon ng bagong provider ng electricity sa Island Garden City of Samal and sa First District ng Davao del Norte. Yan po ang laban namin, Your Honor. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Governor. Governor, yung mga kasamaan po ninyo, nandito si Mayor. Mayora, you'd like to also make a comment? Tama ba yung assumption ni Governor sa iba't ibang localities ninyo? Malang kuryente. Please, now is your chance na magsalita. Yung mga iba't ibang officials na nandito. Sayang naman yung paglipat po ninyo dito at di kayo makasama. Yes, Mayora, please.
Okay, good morning po sa lahat. Good morning po, Sen. I'm the mayor of the municipality of Kapalong, and we have 14 barangays, 3 of which is serviced by Davao Light. And we can always compare notes po, yung mga consumers namin na, lalo na yung mga empleyado namin who are residing in the 3 barangays na serviced by DLPC is mura yung mga binabayaran na nila compared to us na nasa 11 barangays po. And tama po yung sabi ni Gov na yung brownout, maraming beses na unannounced po yung mga brownout. Basta bigla na lang po mawala. In fact, the last time, may bisita po kami si Senator De La Rosa, was in Kapalong. While he was talking, bigla pong nag-brown out. And yung medyo malala, in our IP barangay, they celebrated their founding anniversary. That was last September. 3 days yung activity, 3 days din po silang walang kuryente. So, yung very excited pa naman yung mga IPs namin for the celebration. So what the barangay council did is they have to hire a generator set. Tapos, ang nakakatuwa pa, when the activity was about to start, I was there, bigla pang nasira yung genset. So hindi natuloy yung program that I'm supposed to attend. I have to wait for, I think, more than 3 hours. Hindi pa rin nagawa yung genset. Just medyo gabi na, I have to go home na lang na hindi ako naka-attend ng program. At saka when the people of Kapalong knew that I'm coming here, lahat sila, Mayor, sana matapos na yan, na maka-avail na tayo ng mas murang kuryente. Kasi ang Davao Light po, yung boundary namin is just Libuganon River po. On the other side is Davao Light and the other side is Nordeco po. Kaya madali po talaga mag-compare ng mga binabayaran ng mga consumers natin with Davao Light and with Nordeco. And I was so happy to see the data presented by Attorney Campo Amor. We still have 44 situs unenergized. Malaking problema po yan kasi we used to fund other situs po na naghihingi po ng kuryente. As high as 2 million, ganun po. Yung situ electrification that we had, I think that was before COVID time, naging priority po namin yung IP communities po namin. So, pero other PUROKs po is funded po ng local government unit. Yun po ang sabi ni Gob na yung subsidized po ng local government and of course ng province din po because the governor also helping us if there are requests from the barangay council that they needed the electrification in their situs na medyo hindi na din po kaya ng LGU.
Thank you, Mayor. I can see your frustration. Hindi lang siguro nakakatawa pero nakakaiyak siguro for you to wait 3 hours there in the dark.
Yes.
Security-wise as well. Of course. Diba malayo po yung mga barangay na yun?
Yes po, it's very far. You have to travel 3 hours po from the population.
Thank you, Mayor. With the other municipalities, please Mayor sa Kapalong.
Magandang umaga po. This is Vice Mayor Alan Relion of Tagum City.
Yes, Vice.
Your Honor, Honorable Suberi. Ako po ay mayor for 9 years in 2013 to 2022 and sa ngayon ay Vice Mayor. Bago ko po magdagdag ng specific na situation na realidad in our city, allow me to read itong resolution ng nakaraang sanggunian pertaining to this concern. Ito naman po ang pinag-uusapan sa subcommittee ay in connection with the just approved sa House of Representatives na the expansion bill or extension of the franchise of the DLPC na nasama ang Tagum City, na 181 members of the House of Representatives ay yes at 9 ay hindi po pabor. And so nasa Senate na po ito at masaya po kami dahil ito naman po hindi naman na parang this give as part of the democratic processes na i-allow yung another player para yung mga tao naman ay makapagpili ano yung best para sa constituents. Nung nakaraang sanggunian po, ako po yung mayor that time, and ang sanggunian ay pumasa ng resolution. Babasahin ko lang po para masama sa record. Kasi ito is not only my personal stand but the constituents and the representatives of the people of Tagum City, which about 40% consumption ang gagaling sa Tagum if you talk about the entire franchise area of Nordeco or even in Davao del Norte. Ito pong resolution ay resolution number 1303 series of 2021 of the Sangguniang Panlungsod of Tagum City na naipasa noong July 19, 2021. Ang present po dito ay lahat po na members ng Sanggunian, including the presidents of the Sangguniang Kabataan and the ABC president and our IPMR, Indigenous Peoples Mandatory Representatives, alongside with the regular members. Ito pong resolution ay a resolution supporting the petition to change the existing electricity provider as the electricity supplier in the city of Tagum. Whereas for many years, the constituents of the city of Tagum who are members of the existing electricity provider have been unsatisfied with the services provided by the latter, because despite high electricity charges, still there is insufficient power supply, resulting to frequent power interruptions and rotational brownouts. Whereas the failure of the existing electricity provider to serve its consumer members satisfactorily has generally impacted and reduced the quality of life, opportunities, and general welfare of the constituents of the city, and for which reason the constituency of the city have clamored for the immediate replacement of the existing electricity provider as their electricity service supplier. Whereas it is the intention of the members of the Sanggunian Panlungsod of Tagum to provide the constituency the utmost possible social services that will promote their quality of life, opportunities, and general welfare. Now, therefore, it resolved, that's so on, and signed. Onward, Your Honor, one time, nang bumisita ko sa isang community, may isa lumapit, sabi niya, doon muna sila most of the days manirahan sa Davao City, and ipakat na lang nila yung supply dahil sa mas mura talaga sa Davao City at pinaaral yung anak doon na lang sa Davao City. Another, in one barangay in the southern part, some households are asking us na kung pwede yung solar power na lang. Kasi ayaw na nila magpa-connect because kung ano yung kita nila ay kulang-kulang kung ano yung monthly billing. Others, it's really the reality that hindi na nagbabayad ilang months. And alam naman natin pag hindi ka magbabayad, patong-patong na yan interest. So if this kind of situation, pa-backward, no? I know the Nordeco has been helping. In fact, the LGU, in my time, in my 9 years, meron akong millions of pesos allocation ng city na mag-manufacture na lang ng mga concrete na street lights na mga post. In fact, we had that computed kung ilang lahat. May plano ba kami na i-donate, ibigay na lang sa Nordico para naman matulungan sila na ang variable cost nila in the operation, ma-minimize man lang so that kung ano yung they can decide on paano pa mapababa pa ang rate. But we know it's the other party will now present on the technical aspect about kakayahan. But on overall, I would say as personally, they're doing best naman. But ito namang gawaing ito, kagaya ng nasabi ng ating chairperson sa pangunahing pananalita na ito ay pag-uusapan natin yung ano yung solusyon. Kung ang solusyon naman, this time, dinggin naman natin, not on the technical, on the legality, but we look at ano yung mga consumer members, ano yung maganda para sa kanila. Na to me personally, sana wala nang mga ganun na mga testimonies ba na lilipat na lang doon dahil mas mura. So in other words, ang yung comfort ng life, yung convenience nila ay hindi na nila ma-exercise. In our city, we are really promoting that just like other places na maging livable, maganda, manirahan, makatira, and masaya ang pamumuhay. So with this, as on the proactive na feeling or advocacies namin na kung i-allow lang, nandyan si Nordeco, nandyan si DLPC, and then let's do their talking and then share what's best for the constituents. If ang result na sila na with partnership, why not? But yung punto naman na i-hold, we will not allow them to enter, parang hindi naman maganda yon. Ito ay nagsalita naman yung representatives ng constituents of the city through our Sanggunian, although it's in the previous Sanggunian, but the same, most of them leaders are now incumbent, even myself now being the presiding officer of the Sangguniang Panlungsod of the city of Tagum. Yun lang po ang madagdag ko sa binungkahi po ng ating mahal na gobernador. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Vice Mayor, former mayor of Tagum. Alam mo, gusto ko habang before I recognize the others, gusto ko lang sabihin na yung expansion ng industries dyan sa Davao City outwards kasi yung Davao City ay punong-puno ng industriya. There's a lot of industries, a lot of manufacturing plants. Obviously, may spillover yan kasi hindi naman kaya carrying capacity in Davao City. And that's to the advantage of areas like Davao del Norte, Davao de Oro, all these Davao del Sur. Yan ang magiging effect ng pag-unlad ng inyong region because your region is a very one of the fastest growing regions of the country. Ang daming gustong talaga mag-set up ng shop dun sa inyo, but their biggest of course what discourages them is the problem of electricity, either the lack of electricity or the expensive electricity. Yan po problema ng ating bansa.
Yes po.
Yung number one, ang pinakamahal na presyo na kuryente. And you know, I use this as an example kasi nag-hearing po ako ng 2 months ago yung sa Siargao. Palaging brownout sa Siargao. Ngayon, 1 linggo na brownout. 1 linggo ang Siargao. The electric cooperative, I do not know what they're doing there. You know what's going to happen? Siargao is one of the premier tourist destinations of the country. As a matter of fact, in a recent survey, interviews with the foreign nationals, it is now their preferred go-to tourist spot in the Philippines. Tinalo na nila yung Boracay at yung El Nido. Kasi gusto daw nila yung Siargao vibe. Ika nga, may Siargao. Lalo na sa mga bata, na mga young, between 18 to 35, ang favorite ni area nila is Siargao. But how can Siargao grow as a premier tourist destination like Bali, Indonesia, like Phuket, Thailand, na wala namang kuryente? Ako po pumunta doon, kaya nag-hearing po ako dahil I was there for a wedding. Diyos ko po, 2 gabi po kami doon. Hawak-hawak ko po yung aircon control kasi namamatay po yung kuryente. Pag namatay yung kuryente, i-on mo na naman yung aircon kasi magigising ka. So wala pang, siguro 4 na beses kada gabi po mangyari yun. And all the resort owners were complaining, all our appliances are destroyed. We have to replace the appliances every 2 months kasi nga nasisira yung refrigerator, nasisira yung air condition, nasisira po yung kagamitan nila. And that is the reason why also many big name hotels, Marriott, yung mga malalaki, have held back. Shangri-La, they have properties there, but they don't want to construct unless the power providers improve their power service, which is also an electric cooperative. That's the truth. Galing po ako dun. I saw it with my own eyes. And then, ang dami nagte-text sa akin kasi sabi ko nga, gawin natin ng paraan. We had a hearing. The DOE was there, the ERC, they will work on it. And then this last weekend, almost 1 week, I don't know kung may ilaw na po sila. Pero for 1 week, wala po silang ilaw. And that is their problem also, intermittent brownouts always, no, every so often. So that is a good example that we'd like to show when there is an electric cooperative not doing the job. Ang kawawa, ang taong bayan, ang investors, alam mo, pagpasok ng investors, hindi natin pinaglalaban dito ang businessman. Ang pinaglalaban po natin dito ang trabaho. Kasi kung pumasok yung investor doon, imagine kung pumasok yung Shangri-La sa lugar, you'll hire 1,000 people all over the island for employment. So, may effect yun sa taong bayan. So, let's now continue asking yeah, maybe we'll recognize Mayor Al Uy of Island Garden, Samal Island Garden, to give also his position, because I know for a long time sila po ang problematic dahil ang kainisan niya is they're only one short 10-minute pump boat ride away from Davao City. It's just across, you can see each other, but the rates and the services are so much the same. No, it's like night and day. Yan ang complain niya sa akin nung bumibisita po ako sa kanya. May we recognize Mayor Al David Uy, if you are there. Mayor, you are recognized to speak up.
Yes, sir. Good morning po.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, compadre.
Morning, kumpadre.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't be there right now since I'm here in nandito po tayo sa hospital, sa Davao Doctors Hospital. My wife, Carmi, just gave birth to a healthy baby boy last night.
Congratulations, Mayor. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, compadre. So, yeah, that is the very reason I'm speaking in behalf of all Samaleños. One of our problem, Mr. Chairman, in Samal is healthcare. The reason why hindi po stable yung power natin sa Samal. Kaya nga, you were speaking earlier about investors coming into places with reliable electricity. Yan po ang problema namin sa Samal. Wala pong mga reputable na healthcare provider that would go into Samal because of hindi po reliable yung power. Like just for example, inimbitahan po natin yung grupo po nila Mr. Manip Pangilinan to put up a private hospital in Samal, and other businessmen also that would like to invest for a healthcare facility in Samal. But the problem is yung power ho talaga. And just recently, may malaking hotel na pumasok sa Samal, hotel chain. They just celebrated their 1 year in Samal. Yung Discovery, alam nyo po, they are running on modular gensets po. Hindi ho sila nakatap sa grid. May sarili ho silang planta yung hotel. So just imagine the cost and the burden on their part. And for the case of Samal, matatapos na lang ho yung term natin. I'm on my last term. Nawawala ho yung submarine cable namin. Ewan ko, nasaan na ho yun. Ang alam ko, malaki po yung gasto nila doon. So hanggang ngayon, siguro pangatlong Pasko na namin ito, Mr. Chairman, na ang nagpapatakbo ng Samal is modular gensets. just imagine the price we are paying for the price of fuel on those modular gensets. And in aid of electrification, na-mention kanina ni Mayor Relion, tumutulong po ang LGU sa electrification. Just last year, we suffered massive electrical power outages. Hanggang ngayon, naka-state of calamity pa ho ang Samal. We purchased modular gensets. Malaki na ho ang gasto namin. Tinulungan na ho namin ang Nordeco. Bumili na ho ang city ng modular gensets para lang matulungan yung supply. And meron ho kaming ongoing na solar power project at the back of our city hall para lang makatulong. Kasi sa Samal ho, pag walang kuryente, wala rin ho kaming tubig. Wala rin kaming internet. So, ayan ho yung problema namin. Kaya nga wala masyadong investors na pumapasok sa Samal. May mga iilan, pero ayun nga, talagang nagrereklamo na sila. Even our existing resort owners, nandyan ho ang ating member ng Samal Chamber of Commerce. I think Ma'am Florence Valera can also attest to to the sentiments of us in the island. So I know pabalik-balik na ho ito. Nandito na naman tayo. So hopefully this time po sana mapakinggan naman ho sana ni Presidente Bongbong Marcos yung sentimento namin sa isla. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, compadre, Mayor Al David Uy. Thank you. Congratulations. I won't take much more of your time because I'm sure your wife needs you more by her bedside.
Nakikinig po, nandoon sa tabi lang.
So, congratulations po sa inyong dalawa, compadre. And
Thank you, sir.
yes, and congratulations once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So,